We're going to give everybody just a few minutes to join and let my iPad catch up. And we'll see how long it takes today.
Depends how much we talk,
There
I guess.
we go.
Huh?
Oh my gosh, it's already live. See how fast that was?
Here we go. Donna's here from New Brunswick.
Yeah, Judy and Donna and Teresa and Nancy. Let's see, Karen, Marilyn, Mona is here. Hi guys. Good afternoon. So a couple things about this going live together. Right now, YouTube only has the ability to do it upright. So I know it looks weird on the live because it's small. I don't know when they're going to adjust that where you can do it sideways and still be side by side. So I know other people have StreamYard, which they use, and you can do it that way. But this is
this is what we got. This is what we got. So we'll work with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy. Oh, Nisa, you're so sweet. Hi, Sarah. There's Sarah. I think Jan is here too.
I hope so. Jan, are you here?
I think Brenna's here too. I think and everybody's here. They're all here. Everybody's here. It's a party.
It's a party on the live. It's a live party.
So I want to first, hi Donna, if all of you guys don't know Lori, which I think a lot of you do. Hi Net. Hi Diane.
Hi Diane.
This is Lori from Wild Pony Designs, and Lori and I just got to know each other. She was a subscriber to my channel. And we just got to know each other, and then she and her husband were making a trip down to
the Keys.
Key West. Yeah. And she said, we're coming right by. What do you think about stopping? And I said, oh my gosh, that'd be fabulous. So she and I have done a live together, but she's been here in my studio.
And I'd rather be there in your studio right now where it's warmer.
Oh yeah. Well, it was 36 degrees here this morning.
Oh, it was a bit nippy. It was a bit nippy for me.
It's warm now, but even still. So, please, if you haven't subscribed to her channel, if you guys could link her Wild Pony Designs and subscribe. She's just getting started, so I don't know how many videos you have out there.
I have about 6, I think now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we always want to support fellow YouTubers. And then I'm going to be quiet and Lori, let you tell a little bit about yourself.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Now you've put me on the spot. No. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Lori, and I'm with Wild Pony Designs. And Wild Pony Designs is kind of because I have horses, and I love horses, and that's my other hobby other than bag making. And I have a show horse, and I show horses. But I started making bags about 5 years ago. Started with my first machine and watched all the current people back then, and slowly got more involved in it. And now I have my own channel. And this year I'm hoping to get a website together. Well, it'll be Wild Pony Designs, hopefully. And yeah, I just enjoy. I'm at home. I'm a kind of retired bus driver, so I have time on my hands. But I live in northern Alabama, so we have long summers, and I love to garden, and I have chickens and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I just keep myself busy.
It's a good thing you have chickens now because eggs are so expensive.
It is, and they finally started to lay again. I mean, they weren't laying forever. I don't know how long it took for them. It was months before we had eggs, and I had little signs that said they were freeloading slackers because I had to go buy eggs from Walmart. But they are laying now. But I do have one old chicken, and she's allowed not to lay because she's like 7 years old. So she's done laying, but that's okay. She's retired, so yeah.
Nancy, that's not funny. Nancy, I said I'm gonna be quiet and let Lori talk, and Nancy says that's gonna be hard for you.
No, I don't want to do all the talking. We're here together, so
Nancy's been around for a while, so
Nancy knows. Nancy knows. Yeah. Well, thanks, Nancy.
So I'm just going to introduce it, and then this is Lori's brainchild, and she and I made one together yesterday, and we went out for dinner with some friends last night, and I gave it to her. She loved it.
Oh, good. That was quick. Yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. So I only have the one right now that I made yesterday.
And I made this one after we got off the
Yeah.
live
So
together.
this
So
is all it is, you guys. It's a little, there's no raw edges. It has this little bar clasp, and you open it up and it's got your accordion. That's all
yeah,
there is.
so cute, so easy to do.
So easy.
And
And
we
here, just one thing.
scraps. Really, we can make it
It,
from scraps.
yeah, it is a scrap buster. So this is the simple, artful wallet, which I still love and I still use.
Yep.
It has raw edges. Now, Anne has a non-raw edge version of this, just FYI.
Yeah. I
But
have that pattern too. Yeah.
yeah, but this it's just a little different. I mean, ever so slightly different. This one is actually a little taller
So
than
this is like 4.5, 4.5 by 3.5 size wise.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I love them both, but the nice thing about this one is Lori, for one, number one, Lori came up with it. Hi Deborah. Hi Joni.
Well, I did see it somewhere. Somebody posted one that they had made. So I just sat down with my own measurements from what I figured it would be and just sat down and made one. They're really not difficult at all. But I did get inspiration from a picture that I did see somewhere on the internet.
And that's okay. We all
Yeah.
get inspiration from
Sure.
something.
Sure.
But I am selling these purse frame
The bar
now. I don't
clasp.
have
Yeah.
that many, and if they sell out, I will order more. But I have them right now in four colors. I have the silver, which is what I'm using today. I have the gunmetal, and then I have antique bronze, and then I have it's kind of a rosy light gold.
Yes, Teresa. The finished measurement is 4.5 by 3.5.
She's going to go over all the measurements.
Yeah.
So I do sell those now. They're not expensive. They're sold by the each. So if you only want to try one, it's kind of nice because you only have to buy one. And I also sell.
Yeah, but you might as well get four because as soon as you make one, you'll want to make three more.
It's the truth. And then I also have the accordions. Now I only have the accordions in black because they want to charge an arm and a leg for the colored ones. Believe
I
it or
have one. The one I'm using today is brown, and I think I'm trying to remember where I got this from. I think it was Garner Studios at the time where I got. She had colored
Sandra.
ones,
Yeah,
pink, yeah,
Sandra might
pink
join
ones
today.
and blue ones and black and brown. So
Mhm.
the brown works with what I'm doing today. So
So I'm gonna turn it over to Lori, and even though she taught me yesterday, she's gonna teach all of us. And I'm just gonna. I know Nancy. I'm gonna try my best to be quiet.
are you going to sew along too, Barb? You going to make
Yes.
another
Oh
one?
yeah. I've got one
Oh,
all
great,
ready
good.
to sew up.
Okay, so it's really not a difficult pattern to make. Basically, we're going to use our little bar clasp, and these are 4.5 inches wide. So basically, your finished wallet is going to be 4.5 inches wide. So there's two pieces to those. You've got your screws. There should be 8 screws. You need your accord, just a regular 10 slot. Whoops, 10 slot accordion. And you need to cut your two pieces of vinyl. Now we had a lot of discussion. You can use vinyl. You can use cork, um, thinner vinyl works fine. Like this one that I made yesterday is quite a thin vinyl, and it still works. And I've made them out of thick crock vinyl, and it still works. So it's just a matter of playing with your vinyls and trying to figure out what your thickness will be at the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out
Hey
because this
Lori,
is going to be
can
yeah,
I chime in for a second? Now I made this one after you and I met yesterday, and
yeah,
this was a little. I recorded it, so
yeah.
you'll
Okay,
see it,
good.
but it was a little challenging to get in here.
Yeah. So
It worked.
did you sew along the top?
I did.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's challenging, but it does work.
So it
Yeah.
depends on the thickness of your vinyl. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted to say.
So, and I think maybe Bart for that one, maybe you could have used less. Maybe you could have cut the Decaville light out of the top
Yeah,
and
I
made it
didn't
half
even
an inch
think about
smaller.
that.
Yeah.
A very good point. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you
So,
have thick, um,
so I'm using the faux ostrich, which is kind of what Barb has, but I'm using kind of a brownie color.
okay.
Look, Barb did it in the purple. So I've cut my pieces 5 by 7.5. So two pieces identical, 5 by 7.5. And I have put a piece of Decaville light 4 by 7.5 down the center on both pieces. So 4 by 7.5. It is basically from top to bottom, depending on your thickness of your vinyl. So this one's kind of thick, but I think I'll be okay because I've made these before. So, and then what we've also done, because we have to put screws in the top of here, I have done a little piece of Decaville heavy within those seam allowances, like 4 by it's about 3/4. 3/4 is wide enough because you only want it to fit. See, we have screws. Those screws have to bite into something, and I think just the vinyl, the soft vinyl itself, I think the Decaville heavy gives it just a little bit more something to bite in.
I completely
But
agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, if you felt it was going to be too thick, bring that Decaville light down a little bit, keep it out of there. But I still think we need the Decaville heavy for the screws. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put right sides together, but we're going to do opposites. So the top where we have the Decaville heavy, we're going to turn that around so it's at the bottom. So we're going to sew a 1/2 inch, sorry, a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that's going to give us the finished size of 4.5.
Now, what
So
I'm doing, I am going to go ahead and put a tag on this one
okay,
because I haven't used a tag.
yeah,
So I just measured down from the top 1.25 inches.
that would be perfect.
So,
Let me just check to make sure that won't get in the way of the 1.25 inches. No, that would be perfect because that won't get in the way of the little clasp,
mm-hmm,
I think.
mm-hmm, yep.
I don't really have any. I'm using gold. Let's see. I don't know. Should I put a tag on mine? I don't have any little gold ones left. Mine are kind of big, and I don't want to put a big tag on it. But yeah, that would be
So
the time to put on your tag if you wanted to put on a tag.
look at what Joni said. Joni
Mm.
asked a question.
Well, I just adhere everything when I'm attaching the Decaville light. I attach the Decaville heavy at the same time, so I have everything in my heat press. If you wanted to glue it and wait for the glue to dry, you could do that as well.
And really, the key to Decaville Light and Heavy adhering better is to put it on there, get it adhered really good, and then leave it alone for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and if you want to, like I have a steam press, but I don't use water. Some of you might have a heat press. Sometimes I have a little spritzer and I'll spritz it with a little bit of water and that helps as well. So now what we've got is we've got our two right sides together. One piece of Decaville's at the bottom and one piece is at the top because what's going to happen is we're going to fold this up and then you'll have both pieces at the top. So 1/4 inch seam down both sides. Let me move my, it's kind of hard for me to move my camera. Hang on guys. I want to, just a sec. I knew that would happen with this new stand. Close your eyes, everybody, if you get seasick. I can always move it, I guess.
Hey, Cynthia, I think Teresa or Brenna or Jan could link them for you here so you can just go and look at them.
I'm trying so slowly so it doesn't wiggle my camera.
I'm going to make a little bit of noise because I'm putting my tag on.
Okay.
Let me see if I got it. Oh my gosh, I got it on there straight. It's an absolute miracle.
It's a miracle. Yeah, Teresa, it's easy. Just no pattern pieces, just measurements. It makes it nice.
So we'll go over all the measurements again.
Yeah,
But so this is what my tag looks like. So this is going to end up being the front. So when I pull it up like this, that's
that'll
going
be
to be the
nice.
front. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now now did you talk about making sure that these were on opposite ends?
Yep.
Okay.
So Decaville light on one side will be at the left, and the right side it'll be on the right side on the other side. Thanks, Nancy. I turned my clock off that makes all my nays sounds so you won't hear me screaming in the background.
I love it.
Well, I have this clock. It's old. I bought it for my daughter because she's a horse girl too when she was little. and at every hour, this little, like, it's like a cuckoo clock, and every hour the doors open and this little head comes out, and it's a horse and it neighs.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
It's so cute, but over the years, I don't know what's happening, but it's squeaking so badly. It scares the bejeebers out of me in my sewing room because the sting comes out and it squeaks. So I've taken the battery out so it wouldn't make that noise while I'm doing my lives.
Mm,
It literally, I tried to get a new one and I ordered one off Amazon because I don't know, it's just a funny clock that I like.
that's
And no, it came and it was a horrible noise, so I sent it back today. Okay, so once we've done that, we've got our 1/4 inch seam down both sides. Now we're going to turn it right side out. Let me just, I'm just gonna, I didn't
so
back
that's
stitch.
something else to consider. You do have to turn it right side out.
Yeah.
So just be aware of the materials that you're using. You don't want something. I was doing something earlier today with oh, I'll show you because it was a nightmare to turn. Let me show you. This PVC waterproof canvas is a nightmare to turn.
Is that the linen look one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that from
Oh,
Melissa?
yeah.
So pretty.
I
So
love
pretty
it.
though.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. But it is so hard to turn. Ugh. I'm not sure I would do this and that stuff. Okay, you're ahead of me. I'm just doing
No,
my
I'm just taking
seam
my
front,
time. I'm just taking my time to turn it.
my seams on both sides. You guys, this is so fun for me to have her
Basically, I think this turning is the hardest part of the whole wallet. Once
problem.
we've got this done, the wallet's half done. I almost got it. There we go.
So Donna, you use Tim Holtz has a heat gun. Is it specifically made for that purpose? I know a lot of people use their hair dryers
I
to
have
heat.
a good steam on my iron. I could steam it on my iron too.
Yeah. Hmm. So we're not trimming the sides, correct?
No, I don't. If you feel like you can if you want to, but we've only got a 1/4 inch seam allowance in there. I haven't had any problems. I think that little bit of extra fold over at the top again gives that bar clasp something to grip onto.
Okay.
But if you feel that your fabric is going to be way too thick, then go ahead and trim it if you want to. Like there's not really any specifics, but it's just a matter of what you're using, the fabrics that you're using. See, I didn't
Deborah
back.
got her cylinder arm, and now she says, "How did I get by without it?" I
Fantastic.
know. I know, Deborah. So Patricia hits the vinyl with the hair dryer, and it
Yeah.
softens it up. Yeah, I need to go get that hair dryer. We don't. I never use a hair dryer. Tony never uses a hair dryer, so it just sits in the bathroom. I need to go get it and just bring it in here. Okay, so this is even this thin vinyl that I'm using.
I didn't backstitch very good, so one of my little side seams came open. I'm just trying to sew it back up so I don't have to turn the whole thing
Now
inside
I
out
didn't
again.
use Decaville. I used Lux Fuse.
Okay.
So this is Lux Fuse from Barb at Got Interfacing. I'm gonna move you up just a little. Yeah. I really like it. It's her alternative to Decaville Light,
Okay.
and
I'm
I
gonna
like
I'm gonna
it.
have to
It doesn't wrinkle as much, for one
I'm gonna
thing.
have to turn this back inside out again. I don't know what happened, but I didn't get a very good.
Well, I'm still working on turning mine.
That's good because I'm gonna turn mine halfway back out again because I just for some reason I didn't backstitch very well there. And you want you're gonna be squishing it a lot, so you want a good backstitch.
Yeah. So Jan asked, Lori, have you tried one with cotton and foam?
I have not. I have not.
I don't know why you couldn't, though. Really,
As
because
long as you
there's
had enough
no.
enough substance at the top to get your screws in. Like I think probably you could
Oh,
do it I mean, you could do it with like an outdoor fabric would be really nice, like a canvas. That might be really nice too. Like a
But you could
thicker,
do it with cotton if you put the Decaville on the top, don't you think?
probably. As long as you had it, I'd still want to use the Decaville light though, I think, even with the cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Like to give it some structure, because you don't want it to be super floppy. And every time you open up your wallet, it's, upside down on you, backwards
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. Like,
Jan says she was
falling
gonna
over.
try Decaville heavy at the top. I think give it a try, Jan.
Yep. So I just have a tiny little strip of it, Jen. I don't know if you can see, but it's just a little. It's like 3/4 of an inch. It just fits inside the bar clasp.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a heck of a time. Of course, I've been sewing all morning and my hands are
Your
about.
hands are probably already sore, yeah.
Okay, jeez. Now, the other thing I was thinking is you don't have to use the same fabric on the inside and the outside.
You don't. You
No.
absolutely don't.
Yeah, you could. The ones I've made, I just use the same, but you certainly don't.
I wonder
Have,
if you did like the vinyl on the outside and the cotton inside. That might look nice too.
yeah.
Okay. I got mine to get yours all turned yet. You're still working on it.
Oh, Jan, you're so funny. I did. I was on it yesterday. I was filling orders left and right.
I know you were a machine yesterday.
I know. The other thing about the cotton is you could iron it nice and flat.
Yeah. I would starch it first as well.
Mmm.
And you know what you could do? You could spray it with Scotch Guard and let that dry, and that would give it a little bit of protection so it would stay cleaner.
Mmm. That's true.
I've done that on a couple of bags that I had some white fabric on the outside. Used Scotch Guard on it first, and it's kept them clean and waterproof.
Okay, so what are we doing next? I've got
Okay,
mine
so we've got
turned.
it all turned.
Yep.
Now, because it's flat and easy to use, now we're gonna take our bar clasp with the hole, and we're gonna work on our hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bar clasp, and if you have a right and a left side, just decide. For this step, it doesn't really matter, but when we screw it on, it will matter which side it goes. But what we want to do now, there's that little hole in there. Put it down there,
And
you can
that's
see
on
it.
the front, right?
Yeah, this will be on the front of the wallet. So, like for example, here's your little clasp, and it just pokes through that hole. So that will be the front.
Okay.
So if you've got a tag on, you want your tag that to be on your front one. So put that on, and then we're gonna trace around that hole so we can cut that hole out. I think I'm going to stitch mine because it's got some body to it for sure.
Reminder to add your rate before stitching together. Your what? Um, Nancy, your what? You mean your tag? Add your tag before stitching it together? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, if you're putting a tag on, you do your tag before you do the side seams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
Nancy.
yeah. That's what we figured.
Don't you? That was autocorrect. I'm sure that's what it was, Nancy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Now, what I do, sometimes can be hard to get in. I put my stuff, instead of trying to do it in my hands, I lay this on my table
Mm-hmm.
and I work with it on my table. Like I can use my stiletto if I find a corner sticking out, not where I like it, and I can use my table for leverage. So you can see that I've got it on. And what I did do, if it's thick, just sew those seams together, just at an eighth of an inch, just to kind of compress them, because if they're open, sometimes they're harder to get on. So I've sewn across the top, and when I push that bar clasp on, I want to make sure that it's going all the way on, and you should be able to see through your little hole and see where your vinyl is. But you want that bar on there all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So now just take whatever marking pen you want to use.
Hi,
And
Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Sorry.
Sharon, you're painting the ceiling. Well, that's going to be a neck breaker for sure.
Oh man, that is a nightmare. Good for you. All right, what am I doing now?
Okay, you're doing a little line around we're going to cut out your
Yes.
hole for your cloth. We're doing this before we attach the accordion because it's much easier to do this when it's flat. So I've just drawn a circle around my hole. and I'm going to take the clasp off now.
Okay.
So now we're going to cut that hole out.
Okay.
Now I happen to have one of these die cutters that I use with my rivet machine that I can go over to my rivet machine and cut this out. You can use scissors. If that's all you have, just take your time. But just remember, you don't want to drop the hole below this bar because you don't want fabric coming out underneath here. So stay within that line that you drew. Don't make it bigger on the bottom because it won't look good if your fabric's sticking out down here. You want it to be enclosed within that hole. So just take your time, go around your hole, and don't go any bigger on the bottom.
So now this is what I've had. I've had this set from Amazon for, oh gosh, 3, 4 years, 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
And I mean, back when I bought it, it was only like $14.
Yeah,
Now
I don't know how much they are now.
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
that's what I'm using too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to use to do mine.
Yeah. I have to remember my press is over here, so I'll just keep talking.
And I'm not even going to use my press. I'm just going to put it on there and use my hammer.
Okay.
So there's going to be a little bit of noise. Okay. Okay, so there is my hole.
And there's mine.
And then I'm going to stitch across those just to keep them.
And you can stitch across that first as well before you even do your hole. That's what I did.
Okay.
You don't have to wait.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just going to stitch across the top and the bottom now just to get that step out of the way.
Okay. I'm just burning my threads as I go.
I am too.
They are going to be covered for the most part, but
you don't want any sticking out from below.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Okay, so we've done that. So that's basically, now we're going to work on the accordion. So what I do is, again, decide which is your front, which is your back. Mine's identical, so it doesn't really matter. I fold it in half. And I take whatever marking pen you want to use, and I mark my center on both sides. Make sure it's even because you want your accordion to get in there straight.
Now, if you don't want to do that, if you used her measurements, the center should be 3.75. Double check it.
Yep.
But the center should be 3.75.
You're much more technical. I just fold it in half. Okay, now once we've done that, this has to do with the size of the accordion.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming they all come the same, and I measured, and mine have all been 1/2 inch. So obviously we need some space for this to open. So on either side of our halfway point, I have marked 1/4 inch. Just marking 1/4 on either side.
Linda says waterproof canvas is awesome for the interior. Good to know.
Oh, that
I
would be good
thought
to know.
about that when I was cutting this one out. I thought maybe I should just use waterproof canvas.
It would be interesting. Well, I guess once we get all these extra bars in, we can all take turns making something different, and everyone needs to post what they liked.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to attach our accordion. So on the inside flaps of the accordion, you want double-sided tape. I've just used an 1/8 because that's, so see how the flaps fold in?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got tape on the flaps, or the wings, I don't know what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you've got your bottom. There's a top and a bottom. Make sure you're putting it in the right direction. And we're going to attach the wings to that 1/4 inch mark that we made on either side. Now we're going to top stitch this all at once. So clip after you've attached it. Just make sure that when you attach your wings, they're inside just a little bit because we don't want them hanging out. We don't want them hanging out of the purse. So this is going to be inside and it's going to be in our top stitching when we do it. And I clip because I don't want it to move.
Mm-hmm.
And these are pretty easy to move around once
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they're not really difficult to install. Just make sure they're even on both sides, that you get a good, just check your sides and make sure there's an even distance.
So this is what I have so far. This side
Yep.
is on and this side is on. And I clipped them just like Lori. I wanted to
Yeah.
be just like Lori.
Thank you, Barb.
You're welcome.
So now we're gonna kind of, this feels kind of weird, but we're gonna bend the accordion over and we're gonna attach it on the other side. Try to get it at the same distance as the one below it, so they kind of line up in a straight line. It's just an eyeball thing. And if it's not, what happens is the accordion will be off a little bit and it won't sit straight in your bag. Honestly,
It'll be
we're
askew.
almost done. It'll be askew, yes.
It'll be
And
askew.
then your day won't be right because everything will be askew. Like, if your day is not good, and the reason that is because you got one of your socks on inside out. My mom and I joked about all the time that my day was just off because I realized I had one of my socks on inside out.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Okay,
So here's the on the outside there's my tag.
that's pretty. Yeah.
So that's what it looks like.
So now basically we're going to top. We can't really top stitch from the outside, so we're going to have to top stitch from the inside. So we make sure we catch our accordions. And I do a scant 1/4 on this. You just want to make sure that you're catching. I mean, I don't want to do a full 1/4 because I think that will take too much into the bag. But if you can do a scant 1/4, like I can do that on my machine,
Uh-huh.
so just like a couple of stitch widths under a 1/4, just so it catches. And it kind of depends on where you've actually placed your accordion. So just eyeball it, measure. If you take your ruler, if you have to, measure where it's falling, and if you want to do a 1/4 or an eighth, depending on where you sat it, it's totally up to you. Just whatever you can do, a straight line and catch the edges of that accordion. So I'm going to go down mine now.
Now, do you ever back stitch at the top and bottom of the wings?
I do at the
Okay.
no, I don't at the wings. Do you?
Yeah, I did that yesterday. Is it necessary? Probably not. You
I
gotta be
haven't used
careful.
these long enough to find out how sturdy they are. Has anyone else used them?
They're pretty sturdy, really.
Yeah.
So it's probably not necessary, but if I sell something, I don't want it falling apart.
No, that's a good idea. I might do that here because you know where this one's going.
And so you go all the way to the top.
Yep.
Okay.
All the way down the side, all the way to the other end. It's catching those side seams from the accordion. And you can push the accordion out of the way. It's pretty flexible.
So
You can
that's
move
that
that.
side. So
Yeah.
you just want to make sure that you caught your accordion flat.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm going to do my other side.
That's why it's good to make sure the accordion's kind of lined up with the piece on top of it. so it's kind of all in one straight line when you top stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you can just kind of move the accordion around a little bit. I think I have a piece of tape in there. Hang on a second. It takes a little while to train that accordion to kind of be in the middle. So that's what it looks like. So the top stitching.
You guys were almost done with this already.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy that it's so easy.
I thought about actually cutting 2 out. And then I thought, oh, we'll be chatting and
You know, it would be fun if you were, if you're working something and doing scraps, if you had a little box and you cut your pieces, your little bits 5 by 7.5 piece, and just had them in a little box ready to go.
mm-hmm.
You could whip one of these up in no time.
Okay, so that's what I have so far. Oh my gosh, it's just so freaking cute. Look at that. I mean, I was I just oohing and awing yesterday, Lori?
You were. You can tell from our pictures that we posted. We had so much fun doing it.
Oh my gosh, it's just amazing to me. Oh, I gotta get my glue.
Oh yeah, I never mentioned the glue. Some people don't like to glue, but I like to glue.
It doesn't.
Okay,
You don't.
now we're basically 90% through. Now we're going to have fun putting on our bar clasp, and then we're done.
Yeah, there's no more sewing.
No more sewing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
So basically, we did 2 side seams, 2 top stitch seams, and some of us have sewed across the top, so like 8 seams, and we're done.
Okay, I
Okay,
am
now
just putting a piece of bead, I should say, not a really tiny. And Lori, tell them what you told me yesterday about where it goes on this
yeah,
side.
put the glue in. Don't put the glue in the middle where the hole is going to be, because you don't
Mm-hmm.
want the glue seeping out. So I just put a little bead of glue down the sides away from the hole. Nothing major. And now this is where we have to be careful that we make sure that our screw holes that we're going to screw in are on the inside towards the accordion. Now we've already dry fitted this once, so it should fit just as well as it did before.
Now, these first class that I sell come with a some plastic on them, and I would leave the plastic on until you're done so they don't get scratched. That's just my recommendation. You guys can do what you want, but I leave it on, and then when I'm all done, I take it off. Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
working mine in. I might as well do the top one while I have it here on the table.
Okay, so I've got isn't this cute? Look at that. I've already got that screwed on.
Yeah, there. I haven't got mine screwed on yet, but you can see what
Okay,
it
I'm
looks
going to
like.
wait. I'll chat.
Look at that.
Hi, Kim.
It's
Hi,
done,
Jeannie.
except for the screws.
Oh, you already did yours.
I haven't got
Oh.
mine screwed on yet. I just stuck the clasps on. I just wanted
Okay,
to make sure
okay,
everything was where I
okay.
liked it and everything was lining up.
Perfect, perfect.
I just want to make sure it's just really important that you get those clasps on and you haven't got them on crooked. Check your front and make sure nothing's hanging out. And you see the hole? See how nothing is hanging?
Mm-hmm.
Like, see how there's not any fabric that we've taken out? That's why it's really important. The most important thing, I think, is getting that hole right so that there's
Mm-hmm.
fabric in the bar clasp. And then it's 8 screws, and this is done. And we've been on for how long? 38 minutes.
Yeah, it's so fast.
If we didn't talk, we probably could get one of these done in under 30 minutes.
Oh, easy. I think cutting them out takes about 5 minutes, and sewing it up is about 20.
And I
I mean,
think
it's
and I
so.
think 10 of that is trying to get it turned.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I'm missing the end of my screwdriver. I wonder what happened to it. Oh, there it is. Fell out. Now, if you have problems, some people might have, depending on which clasps you get. Let me just get my. I'll show you what I do. So, if you have problems getting your screws in, or if your vinyl's really, really thick, I take my awl with my Sharpie point on the end, and I will poke through the screw holes into the vinyl so that there's no problems with the screws going in straight. Because these little screws, they can be really persnickety sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I do this with my awl. It just helps the screw go in, I think. And because we've got the Decibel Heavy in there, it's got something to bite. I just find the screws sometimes go in just a little bit easier.
Oh my gosh. Once again, I am completely in amazement and shock.
They're just so much fun.
How cute they are.
And what a
God.
fun gift. I mean, if you were giving, if some you had a good customer, I did this with my last customer. She's bought so many bags from me. I
Yeah.
made one of these with the scraps left over from her bag and added it to it as a little gift.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. So I'm just taking the plastic off now that I'm done. It can be a little persnickety sometime to get it off, but that's a good thing actually because it's protected your clasp.
And you can do these little screws by hand too if you don't have one of these little fancy screwdrivers. They go in just as well by hand.
Yep.
And I always try to make sure I always feel them. Oops, no, I just dropped it. Like this. Was it too far? I always seem to drop one of them. It never fails. I always just rub my hands along to make sure they're not sharp and maybe
Yeah.
one sticking out further than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Linda. I really like doing it this way too. I don't know, it's just a personal preference. I'm just not a big fan of raw edge. I don't know why. It's just my
Yeah.
personal. It's my personal thing.
Yeah,
I guess.
you have to be fairly decent at edge painting to make it look really good. But I like the other one too. But this is so dang cute.
And I think sometimes if you didn't edge paint, I sometimes think that the raw edge just frays and gets a little bit more dirty than it. Does that make sense? If it wasn't, I don't know. It's just me. It's just weird me. What can I say?
You
I'm just gonna
guys,
use my shirt and polish up the bar.
look at that. I took all the plastic off and look how nice and shiny it is. Oh my
And
gosh.
if you do have a little bit of glue, just get yourself a little bit of rubbing alcohol. It'll come right off.
Yeah.
No biggie. Like always get glue on my fingers, but
And
ta-da!
I actually even got my tag on straight today.
Oh wow, that was good.
Uh, I mean, they are just so
They're just too
fast.
cute. So now what you can do is like just make sure that before you close it up. You could steam this if you wanted to, I guess, but just make sure that your accordion's just centered in there. And sometimes you have to train it, so I just make sure it's centered, and then I just keep it closed for a while, and then that middle piece kind of gets trained where it should be, like you would do with any other thing that needs, like any other wallet insert.
Now,
But
if
that's
you're
it.
not familiar with these accordions, these are the ones I sell are 10 slot accordions. And I am putting, I think I have 8 cards here, but you can double up the cards. You don't have to have one card.
Yeah, let me see what I've got. I've got some cards.
And so I'm putting 8 cards in here. So there's 8
1,
cards in
2,
there
3, 4.
and it closes just perfectly.
I think I have 8 as well.
Now, the other
Okay.
thing that you can do if you're not, again, not familiar, I don't have a dollar bill in here, but a dollar bill fits right under here
Yes.
and it'll stay. So it's not just for cards. You can use it for cash too.
But I think more and more nowadays people hardly carry cash anymore. I've got 8 too, so there's my 8.
I still carry some cash for
I
tips
do
and
too.
stuff. Um,
There's
Tony,
mine stuffed.
isn't that cute? I like the gold with that
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
ostrich
And I
too.
used brown thread on that, so
Mm-hmm. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh.
so fun to
Okay,
paint.
guys. So here is the one. I didn't get my tag on here straight on this one. It's
Uh-oh.
just slightly off. It drives me insane. You can you see it? It's just slightly off.
Just slightly, but not enough to worry about.
Ugh. But this is the gunmetal, and then this is the silver.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, let me grab the one I made over here. I think did I
Look how
use
cute
gold
they are, you guys. They're just so
yesterday?
cute. They are so cute. And honestly, the first one will take you longer, just like anything else. It'll take you a few minutes longer, but you could easily make one in 30 minutes or less. Look at that pink one.
That pink croc. See, and that's a thick croc too.
Did you
It is.
struggle getting it on?
I don't think so. No, I didn't. And then I've got one in a thinner blue, which was a softer fabric, and you can see how it kind of bends. It's a little bit softer.
Did you
So
use Decaville Light on that
I
one?
just used light, but it still works. So there's a really soft vinyl, even though it's croc. It's softer than this one. This one's quite firm. I used gold on that one, and then this one, I would say the ostrich is probably. It feels softer, but it might be the same thickness when it's done.
Brenna's laughing at me
Is she?
because I'm worried about this being crooked. It's barely noticeable. I notice it, but would most people? Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, now I'm gonna think about which one.
So I want to tell all of our viewers that are watching, make sure you sign up for Barbie's Zoom so long on February the 23rd because I am going to send Barb one of these to give away in the raffle. So that's going to be a prize. I just don't know which one yet.
Anne Lori is paying for 2 seats.
Yes, and I'm going to give 2 seats as well.
Now you're going to
From
be able to join this time, aren't you?
Yes, because I'll be here. I think I was in Canada last time, if I
Yeah, yeah.
remember correct.
Okay.
I can't remember. I was up with my mom, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be able to join. But I'm going to be sending Barbie one of these as a giveaway.
And let's just talk about the Zoom for a second. So it's February 23rd from 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. by 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern. And that's a Sunday. So we're going to limit it to 45 seats just because it's hard to manage getting to talk to everybody, and that's the whole purpose for me is being able to see and talk to everybody if you do more than 40, 45. So we had a waiting list last time, and if there are more than 45, we'll do a waiting list because sometimes things happen and people at the last minute, like I think last time somebody had to go to a funeral at the last minute or they were sick. So stuff happens, but
Yeah.
we are going to do a new pattern by our own Brenna. And all of us admins have tested it. It is so freaking cute.
And this little wallet fits in it.
Fits in it with your phone.
Yes, it did with mine.
Yes. So the Zoom is going to cost $16.95, and that includes a digital copy of the pattern. But one of the big things I wanted to say, now last time we did, every other time, I think we've done 2 Zooms. Have we done 2?
2. Yeah, we've done
Yeah.
2.
There's been a ton of giveaways. But this time I decided to reach out to some of my small businesses friends and ask them if they wanted to donate a gift card or something, or a coupon or something. You guys, the response was overwhelming. We
Isn't
are
that
going to
sweet?
have so many prizes and giveaways. I mean, there might be one for everybody.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
so generous of
Yeah.
everybody. So
I
generous.
mean, there are people that are giving a gift card and they're giving a discount code for everyone that's on the Zoom. There's several people that are doing that. I mean, and I haven't actually even heard back from everybody yet because I know, everybody's been busy. So I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for them because they would
Yep.
do this for my so long. So you guys, if you, I mean, for that reason only, and these aren't small things, most of them. $25 gift cards, $50 gift cards, 10 to 15 to 20% coupon codes for their websites. Um, what else? Um, like Lori, she's going to give one of these away. I'm
And
going
the
to
two
do a
seats.
few.
So there's three. That's everyone's going to get something. I bet you.
Everybody is going to, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's going to be pretty close to everybody getting something. And everybody will just be able to win one thing
Yeah.
because there's so many. And I want everybody to have the opportunity.
That would be fun.
The sign up, Diane, the sign up is going to be, what is today? What is the date today? I don't
I
even
don't
know
know,
the
the
date.
24th or 25th, I think.
25th. So we're about 4 weeks out. About 4 weeks. Actually, it is 4 weeks from tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
So I'm really just waiting to make sure that Brenna feels comfortable with her pattern before I do the signups, because if we don't do her pattern, um, we're gonna have to find another pattern to do.
Yeah.
I think she's so close that I don't think there's going to be an issue.
And it sews up so nice. It really was. It really was fun to do.
And we're only having, last time we had 2 sewing sessions. Brenna is working very hard. She
She
is.
is.
It'll be
Thank you,
done.
Brenna.
It'll be done. But last time we did 2 sessions because what we made took a little longer. This Brenna's pattern can be done in the 2-hour session.
Yep.
Now, just like last time, I'll do a cutting out video ahead of time, and you'll have to come with everything cut out. Brenna is a superstar. And she's, how many months pregnant are you, Brenna? 7. I think you're close to 7 months pregnant. So she is working very, very hard.
She is. Yeah.
So that's kind of the plan for the Zoom so long. Will we have a new pattern every time? Probably not. Although I think we need to light a fire under BJ's little tushy, because I think she's already got a new pattern in the works.
Good for them. Good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next Zoom we might do her new pattern too. I'm just saying, BJ isn't here today, so I'm calling her out, and she's not even here.
That's funny. That's
So
funny.
it's going to be fun, and really the Zooms that we're doing are really not about, they are about what we're sewing because these patterns are very cute.
And there's some techniques on that I think sewing in a Zoom, like if you've never done binding before, maybe that would be a
Yeah.
good time to learn to do binding with all of us, all of our hints
Yeah.
and tips.
But
Yep.
it's really more about the being able to sew together, to ask questions, and for me personally, is to be able to see you guys
Yeah.
and see your faces, meet you in person, quote unquote. And so that's the half the fun for me, is to be able to do it that way. So
It is. It is a lot of fun because then you can put a face to a name.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, all these people now that, Nancy, I hadn't seen her face before. Karen, I hadn't seen her face before. There's tons of people now that I can, when I see them on the lives, like right now, I I can put their face with their name,
Yeah.
and it's just fun
Nice.
for me.
So much more personal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So February
Yeah.
23rd, the signups will be about 2 weeks before. So somewhere, whatever date that is, in February. Um, sorry, I was just looking at something.
Yeah.
This will be my one and done pattern, most likely. Over and
We've
up.
worn her out. She's done with us. We've worn her out.
I don't know. But she's gonna have a baby.
She's gonna have a
So
new baby. Yeah. We gotta
yeah,
give her some leeway
that's
on that.
that's priority one.
Yeah.
So February 23rd, from 3 to 5 p.m., you'll come ready to sew it up. You'll have it all cut out, ready to go. And it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah. It is gonna be
So
fun.
I just personally want to say thank you, Lori,
Thank
for
you.
joining me today.
We had fun.
And next time Lori and I do a live, we'll do it on her channel.
Yes, that would be fun when I figure
And
that out. Yeah.
yeah, because YouTube doesn't allow us to simultaneously stream on two channels. You have to have a different software,
Yeah.
and it's expensive. And I'm probably won't ever do it, but you never say never.
Yeah, and I'm kind of new at this, so I need a little bit of training because I haven't done a live from my channel before. And Barb had me go into all these pages that I never knew were there, so I need a little bit of training with that. I feel like I'm when it comes to this technology, I'm good, but I'm not that good yet.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so thank you guys for joining us today. Go grab yourself an accordion and a purse clasp. If I run out, I will order more.
We'll
I
all be
haven't
mad if you run
pulled
out.
the
Yeah.
I haven't pulled the switch on ordering more, just because number one, it's the Chinese New Year and nothing's shipping right now.
No.
So it'll be a few weeks anyway. But I'll order some more. The other thing, and I'm just going to throw this out here. Um, how many people would be interested in matte black bar clasps?
Well, I think it would be nice because it matches what you sell. Like you're a matte black person. I think it would be nice to have matte black in your collection.
Yeah. The problem with the matte black, they're more expensive.
Are they?
Yes.
Expensive.
Yeah,
Oh
all
my
the
my.
matte stuff is a little more expensive than these four finishes. So what I may do is get a few, like 20 or so, and just
But the
see.
gunmetal is pretty nice, though. The gunmetal is dark, like that's the gunmetal on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I if you had matte black or gunmetal, I can't see why just pick one and have that be your color because they're dark enough.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
So everybody's saying black.
yeah,
Donna needs some matte black flip locks. Well, I have twist locks, but I don't have flip locks yet.
yeah. See, Brenna uses matte black and gunmetal together at the same time. Yeah,
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 I mix and match too, so I think it's okay.
yeah,
All right, guys, thank you for joining us. We've been live for 58 minutes. That's
yep.
perfect.
Please go over to my page if you're able and subscribe, and that way I can do more lives as well. And I get more followers, I can do other stuff as well. But yeah, head over there, and I
And
I
I
have
just
myself
want to
making another one of these too. So
I want to
yeah,
give Lori a shout out. She's a very good seamstress.
thank you, I appreciate that. But so are you, Barb.
Very, very good. So if you go look at one of her videos, number one, she's very good at explaining things, and number two, she's very good at the finished product.
Yeah, and it's Wild Pony Designs on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all the same, Wild Pony Designs, and I'm on all those three. So just pop over from one to the other. I have more bags probably showing on Instagram. They're all together kind of in one spot, so you'll see them. And Facebook, and I'm trying to get a Facebook group together, but like again, this is the technology, and I'm learning it as I go. Yeah.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you, Barb. Thanks
joining.
everybody for joining.
Bye bye.